Hey guys, it's Emily and today I'm going to be filming a video that I have been planning for quite some time about my favourite and least favourite books of 2021. So in 2021 I actually read, I think, more than I've ever read before. I read 47 books, and for me, that's actually quite a lot considering I had a very busy school year and other things to do as well. But I thought in this video today I would just tell you about my 5 favourite books that I read last year, and also the 5 most disappointing books. These weren't necessarily 2 or 1 star books. Some of them I gave 3 stars, but it's just that I was expecting something better, so they were quite a disappointment and therefore became my least favourite. So these aren't ranked in any particular order. I'm just going to get into my favourite books and then I will go on to my least favourite. So the first one in the favourite section is Anywhere the Wind Blows by Rowell, and this is the 3rd book in the Simon Snow Carry On trilogy, and I'm pretty sure this is the last book. I did not even know that this was coming out. I read Carry On at the beginning of 2020 and I was instantly obsessed with it, and I read the second one and I really love Simon and Baz. And this book was really good. I actually did film a reading vlog for this, so I will link that somewhere. But I really enjoyed this book. As you can tell, I tabbed quite a few scenes, and I only tab scenes that really impact me, so that's actually quite a few for me. And yeah, I really love this. I did only give it 4 stars. I think if I thought about it more and if I read it again, I might consider giving it a 5-star rating instead. But the thing that annoyed me, and I did talk about this in my reading vlog, is that there were so many chapters with the side characters, and I just wanted to read about Simon and Baz only. I do not care about anyone else. So yeah, just the fact that I had to get through the chapters about the side characters in order to get back to Simon and Baz was that made it a 4-star book instead of 5. But overall, I really love this. Next on my favourites list is Unravel Me, which is the 2nd book, I believe, in the Shadow Me series. Shadow Me is actually a 6-book series with a bunch of novellas in between. And I'm sorry, but I cannot read that many books set in the same world, except for Shadowhunter books, of course, as you can tell up there. But yeah, so I only ended up reading the first 3. I kind of treated it as a trilogy, and I really did enjoy the first 3 books. I flew through them, but I feel as though if I continued and read all 6, it would kind of ruin my love for the first 3. I only gave this book 4 stars, but what I really loved about it is that it was so fast paced. I just flew through this. I read most of it in one night and I could not put it down. And I feel if a book is really entertaining and enjoyable, that's what makes me give it a higher rating. I do not care about writing. I do not care about if it's the best book ever written. If I can read it really fast, that means that I love it, and therefore it's a good book to me. The 3rd book on my favourites list is actually a reread, and that's Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I think this, besides Carry On, is my favourite book of all time, and I always give it 5 stars, so I have to reread it every year because I'm obsessed with it, even though I first read it when I was 12. But every time I read it, it's still so interesting. I literally know what every character is going to say. I know everything that's going to happen and when, but yet it intrigues me. I can read the whole thing really fast. So yeah, definitely a favourite. I know it's kind of cheating because I've already read it multiple times, but Will Herondale is my favourite fictional character of all time, so this is always going to be a favourite of the year. The next book on my favourites list is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, and this is the 2nd book in the Six of Crows duology. I absolutely love this book. I gave it 4 stars originally, but then on second thought I gave it 5 stars because I actually really loved it. I read this right before the Shadow and Bone show came out, but I actually at the time didn't know that there was going to be a show. I was just reading them because I was really excited to read these for quite some time, and I had them on my shelves for a year before I finally read them. But yeah, I actually didn't really like the Shadow and Bone show that much, only because I don't really like the Shadow and Bone books and I don't really like that storyline. But that's why I'm really excited for season 2, because I feel as though like we're gonna get either more about the crows or they might finally adapt the first book. So I really want to see that. Yeah, and the thing I love about this book is just the like found family trope. Like I love all the characters and their dynamics and like their relationships with each other. So yeah, that's why I found this book really entertaining as well. I really love how Kaz, like, who's like the main character in this book, is like constantly like has a backup plan for like everything. So like things would go wrong for the characters and I would be so stressed, and he would like quickly solve it, and like it just keeps you on your toes, and it's very like intriguing to continue reading. So yeah, this is a favorite. And the last book in my favorites of 2021 is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I literally love this book and the whole series. I think this book, I originally gave it 3 stars, but like I had just gotten Goodreads, like I didn't even know how rating worked, so I bumped that up to 4 stars on second thought. And then I think I gave the other 2 books in the series 5 stars, or maybe just the last one 5 stars. But this is one of my new favorite series of all time. Like I loved it so much. I love like the commentary on like politics and people in power, even though it's like all like metaphorical sort of, because it's in fairyland. But I really love Jude's character. Usually like in books like this, I'll be more like intrigued in like the love interest character rather than the protagonist. But I found with The Cruel Prince that Jude was actually my favorite character. Like I usually hate the like main female protagonists because they're so annoying usually, but Jude was like such a badass. Like she was so interesting to read about. She was so like interesting on her own that she didn't need like other characters to like make her more interesting. I don't know. So yeah, that was my last favorite of 2021. Okay, so now I'm going to get into my least 5 favorite books of 2021. So I want to first like put a little disclaimer, like please don't get offended if you like these books. I have like very specific reading tastes, and if I really hate one of these books and like you love it, like we all have our own opinions. Like I really like do not mind. But the first book is one that's like so popular at the moment, and I read this when I was about 13 or 14 and I absolutely loved it. And then I couldn't get through the second book. So I gave it a second chance and it was bad again. And that is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I'm sorry if you like this book. Like the writing, the storyline, there's literally like no characters with a personality. Like it's just, everything's bad. And usually in books, what I value most is characters with big personalities and characters with a really good sense of humor. And all the characters in this book are literally boring. Like no one has a personality, no one, like there was like not one joke in the whole book. Like I was so bored the entire time. And that's why I find it strange. Like I think when I was like around 14, I would have rated this 5 stars, but then I couldn't even get through the second book. So I was like, I'll give it another chance, because the thing is, I met Victoria Aveyard and I got all 4 books and I got them signed. So I feel kind of guilty like not reading them and not giving them a second chance. But I literally got stuck halfway through the second book again. I cannot put up with these books. I'm sorry, they're just awful. But like, if you like them, no offense to you. The second book that is my least favorite is Fallen by Lauren Kate. I watched the movie for this a few years ago. I absolutely loved it. Like I love the movie. It's one of those ones where it's a horrible movie, but you just watch it and you enjoy it anyway. So I was like, I need to pick up the book. Like I need to see where this came from. Like I love paranormal romance type books. So I was like, I will read this. I absolutely hated it. The thing is, I love the first 100 or so pages. I love the like main protagonist girl moving to a new boarding school, finding out there's magic, blah, blah, blah. But the thing I hate about these books is the forced romance. Like everything is interesting, and then it all becomes consumed by her love and obsession over one guy she's known a day. Like, I cannot read about these, like, people who fall in love with nothing in common and they don't even know each other. Well, I guess, I'm not going to spoil, but I guess in this book, like, the guy, like, it makes sense for him, if you know what I mean, if you've read it. But the girl, like, she literally just, like, I don't know. I hate when girls just become obsessed with a boy for no reason, and it like consumes their whole life, and then the entire story becomes a romance, and yeah. I'm not going to say any more about that one. Also, I forgot to say, I think I gave this 2 stars and this 2 or 3 stars. I don't know. Can't remember my ratings. Anyway, the third book on my least favourites is very similar to Fallen because it is also a fallen angel story, and that is Hush Hush. I keep reading these books and hating them, and then reading books that are exactly the same, and I don't know why I expect anything any different. This, I was really intrigued because in 2020, I read the first chapter or so, but then I put it down. I was going to like save it for later. But so in 2021, I was like so excited to read it. I was like, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read all 4 of the books. Also, I forgot to mention, there's like a ton of books in this series as well. But I was going to read all 4 of these. I was so excited. This was like actually awful. Like it was like Twilight with fallen angels gone wrong. And like how bad can it be to be Twilight gone wrong? But I don't know. I feel like the thing I hate about these books is just things are just thrown at you for like no reason. Like the girl will just fall in love with this guy because he's there. Like there's literally no reason. There is no reason. And it's just, I feel like there's a formula each of these books follow. And if I hate it so much, I should just stop reading books that are exactly the same. But I don't know. And half the time I was reading this, like it literally didn't even make sense. Like it's not even written like in a way that's hard to understand. It's just like the events don't match up and nothing makes sense. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so the next 2 books I actually gave 3 stars. And the reason I hated them was because I was like anticipating these releases for quite some time, and then they were very disappointing because I was expecting to give these books 5 stars, not 3. So the first one is A Quarter Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I can't believe I wasted my life reading that many pages, but whatever. Where do I get started on this? This book, like I love the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I read it quite a while ago. I was around 14, 15 at the time, but I don't know what this was. I feel like Sarah just got like fed up. She was like, I'm not going to try anymore. Like these people are going to like eat up whatever I write, no matter what it is. And she just like, I don't even know. She just like had fun, but didn't do any work to produce this. It was actually like painful to read at times. There was no plot whatsoever. Like I read these books like partially for the romance, but I really, really enjoy the plot. Like in the first 3 books in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, there's like war, there's trauma, there's fighting. And in this, there was just like nothing. It was just like a big amount of nothing. And I'm not going to like get too much into it, but this entire book was just smart. And I'm like not buying this book for that. Like, I don't know. I think I should have like seen it coming. Like I should have known what I was getting into when I picked up a new adult Sarah J. Maas book, but this was just a big disappointment. And also I think I might read the next one just because I'm trash and I'm just going to keep buying these and reading them and hating them. But I might consider buying the next one for a reading vlog and I'll do like a review. Also, I forgot to say I did actually film a video about this. I'll link that somewhere. So the last least favorite book of 2021 is Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This is a waste of time, first and foremost. Second, this is Twilight in Edward's perspective. When I was around 11, I read Twilight, absolutely loved it, adored it. I feel like if I read it now for the first time, I would hate it, but you know, the nostalgia makes me come back and spend money on things like this. So at the time, there was like a bit of Midnight Sun released online, like illegally, when I first read Twilight. And I like read it all immediately. Like I needed to know what Edward was thinking the entire time. And then the book was finally released, but now I'm a lot older and I read it and I'm just like this was actual torture for me. Edward is the most annoying character. Like I feel like I have to go back and give it 1 star. Like reading this, why does it have to be so long? Twilight's like this long. And to just read everything at Edward's perspective, it's just like he's depressed and in pain all the time. And all he can think about is like eating Bella. And like, I really did not care. I was so bored. Big disappointment. I don't want to get too much into it, but big disappointment. So yeah, we went from me being very joyful and excited over books to very angry and disappointed, but that is it for this video. Those are all the books I really loved and really hated in 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!